Welcome back to watching Business Incorporated live on Channels Television. Now to our next conversation. Nickel, a crucial component in electric vehicle battery production. In 2021, nickel witnessed a 26.1% price increase to $20,880 per metric ton, which is actually a 13-year high. The price continued its upward trend in 2022 before settling at $23,047 per metric ton on Wednesday. Let's get more now from Favor Ogunraye, analyst, financial derivatives company. Great to have you.
For having me.
So it's a 13-year high. Quite interesting. What is responsible for this steady rise in the price of nickel?
Well, the upward price movement in nickel is really just similar to what's happening with other base metals such as aluminium, cobalt, and that is partly linked to the electric vehicle battery production, just like you mentioned. And then, we all know that there's an increasing transition to achieve, carbon neutrality. A lot of countries have set targets, and, so that is fueling the demand for electric vehicles, and at the same time, the demand for nickel, because it's a crucial component in making the batteries. But then apart from what the transportation sector is doing, we also have a major driver, which is the stainless steel industry, which accounts for about 70% of nickel consumption worldwide. And also you have China, which is the largest consumer of nickel. We've witnessed the economy has witnessed and is still witnessing a recovery. We are talking about the industry and the infrastructure and the construction industry, which are major consumers of stainless steel. And even though the price of nickel as at this week has actually declined by 5%, we expect that the growth in the stainless steel industry and also the increasing sales in electric vehicles, we expect that this will fuel the demand for nickel and prices in the long term.
Yeah, quite interesting. It's all about energy transition right now. But Appian successfully acquired one of the world's largest open pit nickel mines in 2018, but closed a $1 billion deal to sell it to Sibanye Stillwater, one of South Africa's actually biggest miners in 2021. But the deal was recently terminated. Why did this deal crash?
So South Africa is the leading nickel producing country in Africa, and they have about 80% market share according to Fitch Solutions. So this $1 billion deal is something that reinforces South Africa's position in the market, and because they're also venturing into Brazil, and Brazil is the third largest. And Brazil has the third largest, highest deposit of nickel in Africa. So by consolidating their internal operations and then exploring, other things in Brazil, that means that South Africa's operations and competitive advantage should expand. But then the deal crashed due to, geotechnical events, which made one of the walls of the pit to collapse. And I suppose it's something we can link to the climate change events that has happened in Brazil throughout the year.
Yeah, climate change a big issue right now. But what is this? How has this impacted, competition within Africa's nickel market?
It just really, like I said, the deal was meant to reinforce South Africa's position. But then, because we only have Africa's nickel producing countries nickel producing capacities dominated by Tanzania, South Africa, about five countries. So South Africa is the one leading the chart. So it's meant to reinforce their position. But then now that the deal has crashed, I guess other players can also take advantage of that competition right there.
Quite interesting. But how is Nigeria faring in terms of nickel production?
Currently, Nigeria's the only instance of nickel in Nigeria is in Kaduna, northern state, the northern part of Nigeria. And I guess the reason why other countries, because if you look at the countries that I mentioned, I think the topological factors give them that competitive advantage in nickel production. So I guess what Nigeria can do to actually take advantage of that increasing investment would be to, develop the manufacturing capacity. And I guess with the here now, they can leverage on this opportunity to, tap into this high deposits in other countries, so that we can also meet our own, steel demand here, here in Nigeria, and also produce products that can earn foreign exchange for the country as well.
All right, commodities have, had it good, towards the end of 2021, into 2022. What's your outlook for the commodity space?
A lot of the gains that we saw in the commodity space had to do with COVID-19 pandemic, the supply chain issues, but we don't expect the supply chain issues to be as intense as what happened in 2021. So we expect that prices would rise, but then not as much as we saw in 2021, as we expect that supply chain crunches should, ease off, and that would kind of bridge the supply and demand gap as well.
And what other commodities should, be on the radar right now? We talked about nickel today. What else is out there?
We're talking about, we know what's happening with I think what's happening with oil prices as well, the demand for oil and the supply from oil with OPEC and stuff. So I guess that's something that we should also look out for, like what's happening in that space and how the price movements will also impact us here in Nigeria.
All right, Favor, I'm looking for the next commodity gem to invest in. Thank you so much, Favor, right there, analyst, financial derivatives company. Thank you for coming on the program.
Thank you for having me.